Hey, what's up, gamers? I just wanted to put together a quick Yagabi counterplay guide. As many of you know, Frosty Fastings was last weekend, and we had a staggering 4 Yagabi players in our top 8. Despite being obviously the most represented character in that top 8, I kind of am a little bit down on the character. I don't think he's that good. In my opinion, you know, at least in that patch, he was like maybe the 4th best in the game. But he definitely has some of the most knowledge checks of any character in this game. So I wanted to put together a quick video talking about how to deal with some of his really powerful tools. Or at least that's how I was going to start this video. But yesterday morning, he got extremely nerfed. Like, definitely harder nerfs than I've seen for any other character in this game so far. I think Free kind of felt that, you know, the character overrepresentation was a problem, and also, you know, probably saw a lot of people expressing their frustration with the character. So I don't want to, like, you know, spend too much time kicking this character while he's down, but he still does have a lot of knowledge checks, and so I kind of wanted to talk about those. So the first move I want to talk about is this fireball here. Definitely a move that's given people a lot of trouble in the past, but this is actually the subject of the big nerf yesterday, or one of the main things that got nerfed yesterday. It used to be projectile level 2, which means that it used to hit other projectiles and it would just delete them. Now it's projectile level 1. Most projectiles in this game are level 1, and when 2 level 1 projectiles hit each other, they just cancel out. So anytime you see the move, you can just throw out a quick fireball. You can do it with, you know, air fireballs like that. Well, that one actually just went around. But it's actually pretty easy to deal with. In the past, that move used to come out, and only 2 other characters in this game even have a level 2 fireball to counteract it. So Main has this one, and then Tina has one that's pretty slow. Now, you just, you know, it's not a super difficult, and if you see the level 2 will actually just go through there and he wins. It used to be that our main counterplay was trying to stop him from getting the move out, so you could try and hit him with stuff, you could, you know, run up and do a bunch of pressure on him, and, you know, if the fireball did come out, you would have to try and fatal dash through it or something. These days, you can just delete it, and that's exactly what you should be doing with that tool. So I'm going to kind of just move on to the next tool. If you're still having trouble with this move, you know, go lab out your own options and see what you can find. So the next move that I wanted to talk about is this move, Yagabi's Shoulder Bash. So the Fatal version is definitely the strongest version. It's an advancing armor move, or in the case of the Fatal version, iframe move, that just basically goes through everything, goes almost full screen, and counter hit combos you into oblivion. So kind of the layer 1 counterplay against this move is you see it, you press parry. Parry is active frame 1 against fatal moves, so the second you see it, you should be able to react very quickly and go for the parry. But he does have options that he can use to call that out. So for instance, if he knows you're going to parry, he can do this, just run up, throw you, and of course he's getting the counter hit throw against your parry. He can get full combo in the corner, or if he has another bar to spend, he can absolutely spend it to get a full combo there. There are kind of ways around this too as well. So obviously you can just jump the throw, but if you're trying to avoid it, if you're trying to do like an option select, you see the move, you can jump parry, and as you see, he whiffs the throw, and I'm actually plus there. I can get a punish, but if he lets it rip, I'll air parry the shoulder bash. So it's one option that beats both. Of course, you know, there's layers to this. Whenever you jump, you know, whenever you jump parry in this game, there's some recovery when you hit the ground, and this is going to mess with your ability to, you know, you're going to be in counter hit recovery basically when you hit the ground, and you can't even hold the parry there, so it's a guaranteed counter hit recovery. If he reads it, he can absolutely just dash up and whack you, but it beats kind of the layer 1 and the layer 2 options, and once you have that in your rotation, it makes it pretty difficult for Yagabi to just get away with throwing that move out. You know, they're gonna want to throw it out when you're in the middle of an attack animation, so you just try and avoid ever whiffing moves against this character, or kind of like, you know, doing predictable offense where you have this big move that he can just go through. But you know, use this option. It's super strong, and it'll get you out of a lot of sticky situations in the Yagabi matchup. The next move that I think gives people a lot of trouble when fighting this character is this one. the flash kick. So you might be thinking, oh, it's just a flash kick. I know how to fight flash kicks. It's a reversal. I've seen a million reversals. First of all, it's a one button reversal, which does, matter a lot for quick reactions. It's very easy for him to get it out in a 1 frame gap in your pressure. And look at the hitbox on this. It's huge, right? Compared to mains, it's not even close, right? That move is so absurdly, look how far that reached. The move is so absurdly hard to space around because it reaches so far. And it has the added benefit, of course, because of the fatal system, that if he wakes up and fatals it, it's going to be safe on block. So for instance, I do this knockdown, I bait it, bam, it's still his turn. That creates this kind of very frustrating situation where it makes it very difficult to pressure a Yagabi who just has 1 meter stocked. If you're playing a character like Main or Tay, the easiest way to deal with this is just going to be trying to do gapless pressure. Tay, obviously, in free route can just gapless pressure you forever. Main, if he has the flame pools out, has some extremely strong tools. I don't know how to play the character, but I'll put on some clips of Sori doing, fucked up main pressure. So if you're playing one of those two characters, you're probably fine, and don't really need to worry about the move too much, outside of just, the normal amount that you worry about a reversal. If you play any other character, it's going to be very hard to pressure him in a way that's gapless. So I'm going to talk about some of the ways that other characters can kind of work around that. So the first one is just spacing, right? Like if I have this, right, I'm going to run up, he's going to flash kick. I can try and space around the move. So for instance, let's say you're doing one of these, you can run up. Right, make sure that the time that you leave a gap is also the time that you're spaced out. I'm going to show some other clips in the background that you can take a look at, but this is going to work on a lot of characters. For Tina, this is going to be the best way to do it. For Kidora, this is the best way. If there's a specific place in your pressure where you're going to want to go for that, you can just super jump your way out of it. Any jump cancelable normal. Most characters are just going to be able to do something like this. Bam. Easy counter hit punish, right? So that's kind of the spacing around angle. So the last thing you can really do against this move is just note that the Fatal Flash is going to make it a lot slower. So if he wants to make it safe, he's also leaving himself open to, for instance, getting parried. When you parry, you're not going to get a huge difference in damage, like a huge amount of damage, but look how much meter that generated, right? Like, you're definitely going up on a huge meter advantage because, of course, he just failed the move. You just so he's meter penaltied, he just spent a meter, and meanwhile you're getting your Oki and you can just run and do your thing. So if you want to bait the move, just keep an eye out that if you see a Fatal Flash, you should probably parry. And you can do stuff like, oh, he's gonna probably parry here, boink, just do that. And it's pretty simple. You can absolutely do it on reaction if you're looking for it. And of course, if you're holding back waiting, holding down back waiting for that move to come out, anytime that he does the non-fatal version, you're going to end up blocking it anyway. And that's full punish, just like any normal flash kick. It's really just being kind of aware of the move's properties and being ready to react to it in different situations.